We are following breaking news as we come on the air. Renton police are on the scene of a deadly shooting. We are told 3 people were killed, 2 women and a young girl. Thank you for joining us tonight on King 5. I'm Madison Wade. This shooting was reported just before 7:30 tonight. It happened near Kirkland Avenue Northeast and Northeast 18th Street, not far from May Creek Park. That is where we find King 5's Jim Nelson. And Jim, you just spoke to police within the last 15 minutes. What did they tell you?
Well, Madison, a little bit more about the victims. 2 adult women and a young girl, estimated to be about 9 or 10 years old. We also learned that the suspect ran off. He's still at large. We also found out that there were 2 other women inside the apartment at the time of the shooting. They managed to escape. They ran off, and detectives have been talking to them. Through those conversations, police have been able to identify the suspect, but right now they're not naming him. They do have officers out in the community actively looking for the suspect. At one point, they had a scent trail with their canine units, but at some point they lost that track. Detectives have not yet been able to get inside the unit to process the scene because they don't yet have a search warrant. However, they can tell there is a lot of work to do.
It's a pretty gruesome scene, to be perfectly honest, in there. That's why we're calling in the Washington State Patrol Crime Lab, is because they have the expertise in these more complicated investigations. So they will come in later tonight once they all arrive in the area. They will process the scene, they will photograph it.
At this point, the State Crime Lab has not yet been called in. You're looking at video of what we're told is the suspect's car, which was just towed away a few minutes ago. As we mentioned, he was able to escape and run off on foot. Again, there was a trail with the canine units. There have been some possible sightings, but at this point, he is still at large, although Renton police say they have been able to identify him so they know who they're looking for. At this point, they don't think they need the public's help, and they initially said there was no threat to the public because somehow the suspect and the victims knew each other. It's unclear what that relationship was, so they believe this was an isolated incident, although a very chilling, gruesome, isolated incident. Again, 2 adult women and a young girl, 9 or 10 years old, all dead in one of the apartments you see behind me. The suspect still on the run, very early in the investigation. A lot of agencies, I should say Renton, with the help of Washington State Patrol, will be processing the scene. And again, a lot of work to do before they piece together exactly what happened prior to the shooting. Live in Renton, Jim Nelson, King 5 News.